From Cougar Stadium in Ruston, it's the LHSAA Game of the Week through the LHSAA app and CrescentCitySports.com, as we are proud to present the Allstate Sugar Bowl LHSAA Thursday Night Football Game of the Week. Tonight, it's a District 2-1A matchup as the Ouachita Christian Eagles take on the Cedar Creek Cougars. And a pleasant good evening to you. Ken Trahan, joined by Coach Eric Held. Kate Adams will be along in just a bit as well for this outstanding district matchup between two good football teams here tonight. The capacity crowd forming as we speak. The Cedar Creek Cougars at home tonight with a record of 4-1, 2-0 in district play thus far. Have been excellent under Coach Shannon Brown in his second year, taking on the OCS Eagles under Stephen Fitzhugh in his 22nd year, one of the most accomplished coaches in the state with 4 state titles under his belt. And the Eagles are 4-1 and 2-0 in district play as well. So Eric, welcome. Great to be back with you. And I guess we'll start there because this is for first place in the district early on.
No question, Ken. Exciting to be here in Ruston in a District 2 1A matchup between two teams that are 4-1 and of contrasting styles. Ouachita Christian, a little bit more of an open-up style on offense, whereas the Cedar Creek Cougars like to run the triple option. And under head coach Shannon Brown, two excellent coaches, Stephen Fitzhugh, the veteran for Ouachita Christian, been around for 22 years for the Eagles, and then Shannon Brown in his second year for Cedar Creek, but no stranger, was the head coach at Jonesboro Hodge, and is in his second decade of coaching as well.
Well, when you look at the two teams, one of the things you talked about, or at least alluded to, is the fact that the ball is going to be on the ground a lot here tonight. When you look at what Cedar Creek has done this year, they like to run the football. There's little doubt about that, which means this game should move right along. They've only attempted 27 passes, at least their starting quarterback has all season long. So clearly, the Cougars want to run the football.
No question. Ouachita Christian likes to run the football as well. Not only the quarterback Hunter Herring, you'll see a quarterback Trays, but you'll also see the head coach's son, Will Fitzhugh, finally a senior. It seems like he's been around with the Eagles for 8 years now, but he's been a 4-year starter, and it's great having a coach's son out there. Cedar Creek, of course, like you said, is going to put the ball on the ground. A couple of familiar names for football fans out there, especially up in the northern part of the state. The offensive coordinator for Cedar Creek is former LSU running back Charles Scott. Scott Stone is the offensive play caller for the Cougars, a longtime assistant at West Monroe under Coach John Shows and Jerry Arledge. And the defensive coordinator for Cedar Creek is Mark Ware, who's coached in 16 state championships, whether it was at Haynesville or on the staff at West Monroe.
Shannon Brown, I mentioned in his second year, the former head coach at Jonesboro Hodge, had 2 stints there, was an assistant as well. Previously under Ben Haddix, who was here for 8 years, who stayed on as the athletic director and head baseball coach. And of course, under Haddix, Cedar Creek reached a pair of semifinals and also the quarterfinals 4 times. So this has been an accomplished program. But last year, 4-7, lost to Vermilion Catholic in the playoffs and lost 5 of their last 7 games. But here's the rub. They're an experienced football team. 16 starters back from a year ago.
No question. That's the reason why they are 4-1. And they are a team that can challenge Ouachita Christian and also Oak Grove as well, the 2 favorites for the 2-1A crown.
Yeah, I mentioned the 16 starters. They've got 8 each on offense and defense that have returned from a year ago, and that's important. Last week, Cedar Creek defeated Tensas 44-6, so they're coming in good shape. And of course, I mentioned Brooks Auger. He's big. He's 6'4", 200 pounds. The senior, only 27 passes, 13 of 27, 266 yards, 5 touchdowns, but he's rushed 32 times for 179 yards and 3 touchdowns. And when you look at their running game, they spread out the carries amongst 5 or 6 people.
No question. Equal distribution among the skilled guys on offense. You'll see very few formations from Cedar Creek, whereas on the other side of the ball with Ouachita Christian, you'll see a plethora of formations from the Eagles that Coach Stephen Fitzhugh's offensive coordinator, Vadrine, likes to use on that side of the ball. Drew Vadrine, a former quarterback for Coach Stephen Fitzhugh back in the late 90s.
Jaron Miller, 47 carries, 289 yards, a touchdown. He has switched numbers tonight, one of the things that they do at Cedar Creek, so we'll watch number 51 touching the football tonight. A little bit of an unusual number, but that's what you will see. And on the defensive side of the ball, Carson Riley, the sophomore linebacker, leading the way with 39 tackles and a sack this year, while Ty Lally, the senior linebacker, has 33 tackles, and he's recovered a pair of fumbles as well. For OCS, Stephen Fitzhugh, as I mentioned, one of the most accomplished coaches in Louisiana. In fact, the field at OCS is named after him already. And of course, Ouachita Christian, an accomplished program with 6 state championships overall dating back to 1985. And this is an experienced football team with 15 starters back, including 9 on defense.
No question. You look at their record, they're 4-1. Their one loss was to Sterlington, who's one of the top programs in Class 3A. As you mentioned, Coach Stephen Fitzhugh, a veteran coach, just 4 wins away from career victory number 200, and the field was named in his honor back in week 1 against Arcadia in the season opener.
Ouachita Christian averaging 43.8 points a game and allowing 18.3 a game. Now here's something that really stuck out to me when I did my preparation for the game. They are plus 14 in turnover margin this year, which is incredible. They forced 18 turnovers in 5 games, committed just 4. And I do a lot of games in the New Orleans area. The Rummel team has forced 19 turnovers, and I never thought I'd see anything close to that. But here's 18 on behalf of OCS, as now we are ready to have our invocation delivered here this evening, and followed by the national anthem. And then we'll check in with Kate Adams, our 3rd member of our broadcast team, as well, here from Cougar Field in Ruston, Louisiana. Let's listen in.
Please protect these players on the field and on their way home. And above all else, thank you for the sacrifice of your Son, who gave us eternal life. In your name we pray, amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ken Trahan along with Eric Held. Ouachita Christian last week defeated Delhi 49-0. And as mentioned, they've scored the ball very proficiently this year, led by their outstanding senior Will Fitzhugh, who's second all-time in points scored, third in all-purpose yards in the history of the school. And he's rushed for 330 yards on 30 carries. That's a 10-yard average, 5 touchdowns. And he's also caught 10 passes for 199 yards and 4 touchdowns. And, of course, a very familiar name in Fitzhugh.
The second of the Fitzhugh sons. Coach Fitzhugh has a younger son, his third one of 4 kids, who's a 6th grader, I believe, at Ouachita Christian. And Dad promises me you will see him down the road in an Eagles uniform.
Captains meeting at the center of the field. Cedar Creek will be wearing the all-green look tonight. Green pants, green shirts, white numerals trimmed in yellow gold with green helmets. And Ouachita Christian will be wearing the all-whites, the white jerseys, white pants, green numerals, and the old gold headgear as well. As both schools feature green prominently as their main color, but the distinguishing characteristic tonight is clear between home and visitors, which you always like to see. Coin toss taking place right now. Option being discussed. And Cedar Creek has won the toss, and the Cougars have elected to receive, and so Ouachita Christian will kick off, and they will defend the north goal here at Cougar Stadium. The weather conditions, sunny skies, so it's clear because nightfall's arrived, 83 degrees, and the wind is out of the north at 8 miles an hour, so a little bit of a breeze, but nothing substantial. The third member of our broadcast team patrolling the sideline tonight is our good and great colleague, Kate Adams, who weighs in. Kate, good evening to you.
Good evening, Ken. Hope you guys are having a great night. Just great district matchup for both of these programs, both the Eagles and Cougars, 4-1 in the 2019 regular season. But want to give you a little background on head coach Shannon Brown for Cedar Creek. So he was telling us earlier this week he actually mows the lawn himself as well as paints the field because he has surrounded himself with a great group of coaches this year. He's got guys like Scott Stone as well as Mark Ware, both coming from West Monroe, and it's both their first year coaching over at Cedar Creek. He says he feels more confident than ever in his coaching staff this year. Back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Kate. We appreciate that. We look forward to hearing your reports throughout the course of the night. Christopher Holyfield will kick it off for Ouachita Christian, and in the deep position for Cedar Creek will be number 1, Logan Johnson. As we're set to get started with Cedar Creek, and it is Ouachita Christian, and this game is underway. Ball sailing toward the left side. It's going to be fielded there. And did he step out of bounds? No, the ball went out of bounds before he caught the ball. So he caught it out of bounds. Flag comes out as a result. And should result in good field position as a result of that for Cedar Creek to get things started up at the 35-yard line. And so the Cougars get rolling from the 35. They'll put their offense on the field, led by the senior quarterback Brooks Auger. We'll see Jed Worthy, Jaron Miller in the backfield. Expect to see Lane Blue tonight. He's been injured. Brady Menzina, JT Stevens, Jackson Cuthbert. The wide receivers up front. Caden Lillo, Dylan Spain, Trace Barnett, Ben Merchant, and Nicholas Adams against the OCS defense. And Cedar Creek comes out in a pistol-type formation here as Auger gets under center on first down. Power right formation, motion to the left side. Slot that way and run the fullback and find some room. Bursting for a first down across the 45-yard line and out to about the 46-yard line for Cedar Creek on the straight dive play. There was Lane Blue. So Blue is back in action, and that's good news for Cedar Creek.
Great news for Cedar Creek, coming off of a sprained knee ligament, back in action for the Cougars. Their top player on offense. Nice veer play on 1st and 10 for the Cougars.
So first play results in a first down, 11-yard gain to the 46-yard line. The deep back is in a very deep position. We'll get Eric to comment on that. Motion across the formation looks familiar, and I'll talk about that in a moment. Auger, and now whistle sound, and we'll check this flag. This is going to be a false start penalty. First of the game, it's going to be on Cedar Creek. The 5-yard. You mentioned the Westman influence, and that's what we saw for so many years. Under shots, that lining up 8 to 10 yards deep.
Yeah. If you remember them coming down to the dome, it would seem like every year. I'm looking for Tommy Banks tonight at fullback. It's very familiar to those great West Monroe offenses, but yes, the tailback lining up 9 yards deep for the Cougars.
It started with Larry Wright, and that's where it all started with Wright. 1st and 15 at the 41-yard line. Motion to the short side of the field, slotting there once again. And they'll run the dive with Blue again, and he pounds it forward to about the 45. Picks up 4 yards on the play as a result. So Blue 2 carries for 15 yards to get it started, make it 2nd down, and 11 yards to go at the 45-yard line.
The old 3 yards, or in this case 4 yards in a cloud of dust, is something that the Cedar Creek offensive staff is very comfortable with. Continue to churn clock and really limit the possessions of the explosive offense for the Eagles.
Blue remains the up back, Worthy the deep back on 2nd down, and 11 yards to go. Snap it, and the pitch, and it's on the ground. And Ouachita Christian has it. The Eagles come up with the first turnover of the game. 57, Grant Mayshaw comes up with a fumble. First turnover is charged to Cedar Creek, and that puts OCS in great position.
One of the things when you defend the triple option here is you want them to pitch the football because it gives you the opportunity to have a turnover for your opponent. So that's exactly what happened there. Cedar Creek just out of rhythm. Looked like the pitchback may have been out of pitch relationship with the quarterback.
OCS with Dylan Dugan in the backfield. The quarterback is Hunter Herring, the senior. He's a good runner himself, very good size. In shotgun with twins left, and he's going to run it himself inside. And he bursts across the 40 and down to about the 37-yard line. Pickup of about 5 yards to get things started by the quarterback, Hunter Herring, who runs it well. 48 carries, 380 yards coming in.
Herring, very physical runner.
And our player down right now. So a stoppage in play as we have an injury, and that is the first of the game, and it is a Ouachita Christian player. And I do not see the quarterback. I don't see the quarterback, so we'll see. And maybe him, who's down on the play, and that's really unfortunate. On the first play of the game from scrimmage, Hunter Herring, apparently the injured player. And they're going to have to make a move. It would appear he's up. It is Herring. He'll have to leave for at least a play. He is able to walk, which is good news. And now we'll have to see what they decide to do here. So Herring comes out, and coming into the game will be Landon Graves, Saul Graves' son, who's in the game for the first time. So Landon Graves gets to call at quarterback. It's going to be 2nd and 5 with Graves, the quarterback, Dugan, the running back. Graves on a straight keeper left. Graves gets a hold. Graves gets a first down. And it appears as he gets it down to about the 32, which is where he needed to get. Graves comes in, not shy, and he runs for what appears to be a first down. Ball is spotted down. They should move the chains, and they will. First down for OCS, a gain of 5 for Graves.
2 offensive plays, 2 quarterback runs. Not afraid to run the backup quarterback.
Not at all. Comes in, he runs it right away. First and 10 from the 32, quick snap. This time keeps again inside off the fake, and he gets inside the 30 and down to about the 28. So all quarterback running by and large thus far here for OCS to get this game started. Graves actually gets it to the 27, it appears. So it's going to be 2nd down and a long 5 from there.
In our production call on Tuesday, Coach Fitzhugh raved about Landon Graves' athletic ability.
2nd down and 5 from the 27. Graves the snap. This time he'll give it off in a big hole. And inside the 20 and inside the 15-yard line. Big hole. And a first down for OCS as that thing popped wide open for the running back, who is Will Fitzhugh. Fitzhugh can do a little bit of everything, and he shows you that there. And Fitzhugh is all the way down to the 13-yard line with a first down.
Counter tray run there given to Fitzhugh. One of the top running plays for the Eagles on offense.
14 yards to the 13-yard line on 1st and 10 now from the 13. Graves gives to Fitzhugh. Nice cut. Gets inside the 10, running hard near the 5. Fitzhugh showing his outstanding ability there as he runs hard and gets it down to the 5 for a gain of 8 yards. So Fitzhugh 2 carries and 22 yards already.
A lot of gap scheme runs, Ken, by the Eagles, whether it's counter tray, which we saw Fitzhugh on the long run inside the 10, and then on 1st and 10 gaining 7 on another gap scheme run of power.
6th play of the drive, 2nd and 2 from the 5. Fitzhugh in the backfield. This time the quarterback keeps Graves. Can't get through the tackle, and he stopped short near the line of scrimmage, and a good play made for Cedar Creek. Brody Johnson making the tackle. Johnson, another one of those that changed numbers here prior to the game, but wearing 60 tonight.
2 plays you're going to look for, especially down inside the 10 from a defensive standpoint. With the back on the opposite side of the fullback, look for power, or for the quarterback to fake it and run counter the opposite way.
3rd and a long 2 from the 5-yard line. Graves full house backfield this time. Take your pick. And going to run it right and tackle for a loss. Excellent play made. The ball carrier was 15, Eli Eckstein. And Eckstein had nowhere to go because the tackle was made there by number 19, and that is Ty Lally. So Eckstein hit for a loss of a couple. And now it's going to be 4th down from the 8-yard line and 5 yards to go.
Nice play there by Lally, cutting underneath the lead blocker and making the solo tackle. Touchdown saving tackle, of course.
And they will go for it on 4th down and 5 from the 8. Full house backfield again. Graves remains the quarterback. Herring was hurt on the first play. Strong right formation. Graves taking his time. Play clock to 4. Play clock to 3. Timeout OCS.
What the Eagles were trying to do there was to get the Cougars to jump, give a hard count as he went to the line, gave a hard count, looked to check, audible at the line of scrimmage. That's not what was happening. And then had the offensive line go into a quick 3-point stance, going from 2 to 3-point stance, try to get him to jump, discipline Cougar front, call the timeout, try and get a little bit closer to where it's 4th and 3, but great job by the Cougars holding their stance, being disciplined.
With 6:33 to play in the first quarter, hydration break is still in effect in October. LHSAA decided to keep that in, although it looks like we'll get some nice weather by this weekend, finally, throughout Louisiana. But I think it's a good move to keep that, at least for the foreseeable future. Once you see the mercury drop below 80, you can pretty much discontinue it if it's below 80 on a regular basis. But we don't have that yet, even though we expect that to be the case for this coming weekend, as mentioned. 4th down and 5 from the 8. It's a long 5, close to 6. And Herring is back in the game at quarterback, so they get Herring back in after the timeout. That was part of the reason for the timeout, obviously. Full house backfield, and the fake, and Herring rolls and wants to throw it. He throws for the corner, diving, incomplete. And the ball will go over on downs to Cedar Creek. Diving effort in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. And Cedar Creek gets a big stop, Eric.
Yeah, Ken tried to get the back out in the flat as well as the tight end and drag the tight end from the opposite end and try and flood a zone there. And Cedar Creek did a great job defending, getting a defender in the corner over the top and defending the pass. Great job.
Cedar Creek starts at its own 8. You have to be careful here. Argo, the quarterback. OCS shifting up front and pressing the line of scrimmage. A lot of movement up front by the defense. And the hard dive inside. Fighting across the 10. Good hard run by Blue. He is a load out to about the 13-yard line. He managed to pick up 5 yards with what looked like not much.
Looked not much at first, but Blue, 2nd and 3rd effort, nets 5 yards on the play. Without a doubt, Blue is a weapon you want to take away.
He's huge. He's listed at 6'4", 243.
Definitely
Huge.
a guy that can be on a roster at the next level for sure.
2nd and 5 as he got it out to the 13-yard line. No hydration break as of yet. Motion across the formation left. Auger the snap and runs the dive again and just pounding it ahead across the 20 to the 21 is, rather across the 15 to the 16 is Blue once again. Picks up 3 this time, so that's going to be, picks up the first down, I should say, out to the 20-yard line, so he does get the first down. So Blue running hard, continues to pound away, 4 carries, 27 yards.
LHSAA Director of Officials Lee Sanders just let me know the hydration timeout not in effect this week because the temperature would be under
There you go.
80 degrees, especially up here at kickoff time.
Which is what I mentioned, at 80. Appreciate that information. 1st and 10 from the 20. Motion right, slotting that way once again. Miller, Auger, snap, counter play inside. Blue this time he's hit at the line of scrimmage and driven back. So the white shirts were there. This time Blue is able to perhaps fall forward for a yard. That's how you got to stop the big man. Get him stopped before he gets north and south.
The whole key for a defense going against triple option offense is win first down. Put the offense in 2nd and 8 or more to where they eventually feel like they have to throw the ball and are under pressure and they feel like they have to put it in the air. That's what you want them to do. Not many passes attempted this year by Auger.
2nd down and 9 yards to go. Deep back once again. And again, they'll slot the motion man on the left side. Worthy is the deep back. They're going to run the pitch and keep it on the triple option. And this time, quarterback Auger keeps it out to about the 25, maybe the 26-yard line. Made the right decision. That time didn't pitch it. And able to get to about the 26, so it's 3rd and about 5 yards to go.
Sometimes in these offenses, you'll have a call come in or a signal from the sideline from the offensive coordinator telling you whether to read it or not or whether to pull it and actually keep it with no pitch.
3rd down and 5 yards to go. Strong right formation. Auger, a deep crouch under center, takes the snap, runs the fullback dive. Blue fights to about the 29-yard line, I should say. He looks to be a yard short, though. If Blue needed the 30, it doesn't look like he got there. He'll come up a yard short. It's 4th and 1, and that will result in a Cougar punt.
One thing that the Cougars do like to run is midline, which is right up the crack of the center's rear end. And when you have a nose, as the Eagles do on their defensive front in their 3-5-3 defense, kind of tough to run midline.
We'll get a timeout here with 2:59 to play in the first quarter. No score. Brooks Auger will be the punter. When play resumes, Auger's done a good job in that capacity this year when you look at his numbers, as he's punted the ball for an average of 40 yards on 5 punts, which is outstanding. The deep men will be Will Fitzhugh is one. It looked like Eli Eckstein was back there as well. And that'll be the situation when play resumes. Well, the good news there for Cedar Creek, twofold. Number one, they got the stop on 4th down. Number two, they were able to get the ball pushed out from the shadow of their own end zone to create some punting room for Auger.
And Auger is a good punter here, and his long punt of the year is 66 yards. Definitely could use a 66-yard punt here and put the Eagles in the shadow of their own goalpost.
Eckstein and Fitzhugh will drop deep. Auger will stand back at about his 16 or 17-yard line. Wide spread for the offensive front. OCS shifting around. Quick snap, though. Return is on. Kick is away. Wobbly kick toward the OCS sideline. Will bounce it around midfield and will kind of die there. So the Eagles will get it back with 2:51 to play in the first quarter with no score. And again, they'll have outstanding field position for the second time at their own 49-yard line.
22-yard punt.
So the Eagles start at their 49-yard line. Good to see Herring back in the game as he entered back on the last series.
You saw a ton of runs there. I think OCS on this drive will mix in a few more passes.
Dylan Dugan is the deep back. Motion, Eckstein. And Eckstein gets the call, speed sweep to the short side. He's hit and dropped. Good defense. Outstanding defense on the play. Ty Lally, the senior, there again. He had 33 tackles coming in. He's had a couple of big stops already in this game.
Had the big stop near the goal line on third down, undercutting the lead blocker and making the play and forcing Ouachita Christian to a fourth down, and then did so on first down there. Speed sweep with 2 lead blockers, getting them into the alley. Great job defending it by Cedar Creek on the perimeter.
Loss of 1 second and 11. They go empty for the first time. And a double slot to the right. Looking to throw Herring. The slant almost picked off. Great break on the ball. Reading it perfectly, but unable to come up with it was Brady Menzina. So Menzina made a great break on the ball. Two-way performer, and he read that all the way.
Great read, undercutting the throw on the slant. There are a few concepts they'll use in their empty and their 4-by-1 formation. The skilled player, the fullback closest to the line of scrimmage, always stays in and blocks.
They're down at 11. Here's Herring. Sprint draw. Broke 1 tackle, broke 2 tackles, and first down and more. Great run. All the way down inside the 35. An outstanding run by Dylan Dugan, who broke a tackle and then broke another. And the second time he broke a tackle, that got him the first down all the way to the 35-yard line. So that is a gain of 17 yards for Dugan.
Great sprint draw down, 3rd and 11, down in distance. Dugan averaging 9.7 yards a carry on the season. A lot of ball distribution among the offensive skill players for the Eagles.
From the 35, first down and 10, and Herring wants to throw it, and Herring's going to go deep down the sideline. What a throw by Herring. Wow, touchdown OCS, perfectly delivered. And you know who will fetch you 35 yards, and the Eagles take a 6-0 lead.
Will Fitzhugh, their best offensive skill player. They lined him up at receiver as the single receiver in a 3-by-1 trips formation, and a pre-snap read there for the quarterback. Read your single receiver, take what they give you there. If it's taken away, you don't like it, then run your concept to the 3-receiver side.
Extra point attempt coming up. Samuel Harrell to try it, and he's got it. 1:15 to play in the first quarter. 7-0 OCS with the lead over Cedar Creek. That was a 4-play, 51-yard drive. Perfect throw and catch.
No question, and I've said this in previous weeks, those are things that go back to spring ball, to throwing one-on-ones in the summer, getting together with your quarterback and your receivers, your skill guys, going through pass versus air, putting in your offense, building muscle memory with your offensive plays, throwing and catching, and then in August in your preseason practice, and even this week. And that's something that these guys have done for a number of years. These two guys have been around a while. Hunter Herring, interesting information, committed to ULM in baseball. An outfielder for the Eagles, and will go down I-20 east to UL Monroe.
Please walk out and check your car. They're triple parked. People cannot.
Well done, 7-0 lead for OCS.
Direct traffic. Again, if you have parked on the cross-country field.
And the kickoff coming. This one's down the middle, retreating, and that's a live ball. And now room. So what looked like it might be a problem turned out to be a pretty decent return.
And I can tell you this, Ken, from seeing so many kickoffs through the years as a player and a coach, that when the return man bobbles the ball or drops it or fumbles it, your coverage team sees that, and sometimes instead of speeding up and accelerating to the returner, sometimes they tend to break stride and go to a coast situation and lose contain and leverage on the returner. That's kind of what happened there.
So they'll start 1st and 10. Their own 23-yard line. And the slot man to the left side. Option left keeps it wide open. Herring out to the 30-yard line, and a good start to this drive. A gain of 7 for Herring as the first quarter ticks under 1 minute to play.
Great read by Auger, pulling it on the veer play, faking the pitch, put his left foot in the ground, get downhill. Great 8-yard gain. Nice read by Brooks Auger. Not your typical option quarterback, looking at his physical size, huh, Ken?
No, huge. Both quarterbacks are big. So, second down and a long 2 or short 3, if you will. Auger, this time the dive, and it's stuffed. No chance for Blue as he is hit immediately as the defense was there to put him down in a hurry. So Blue nowhere to go, and that probably was the last play of the first quarter. As Blue is stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain, it's going to be third down in the short 3 as the first quarter comes to a close here. And at the end of one quarter, it is Ouachita Christian 7-0 over Cedar Creek. This is the Allstate Sugar Bowl LHSAA Thursday Night Football Game of the Week, a presentation of Crescent City Sports. Ken Trahan with Eric Held. Second quarter set to begin here. And 7-0 OCS on top of Cedar Creek. It's going to be a third down and a short 3. We'll check in with Kate Adams here. First opportunity. On 3rd and 3, OCS pressing the line of scrimmage with 8 defenders. Herring. And he dropped the ball. And did he get on it or not? OCS pointing like they've got the ball. But I think Herring recovered, and he did. So a botched exchange, loses 2, and that's going to be a punt for Cedar Creek as a result. Let's check in with Kate Adams on the sideline of Cedar Creek. Kate, take it away.
On
All right, we'll check back with Kate in just a bit. Fourth quarter, second quarter just beginning, and a punt will take place here. Auger to punt it away. Fitzhugh is in the deep position. Rushed this time, but he got it off. Very high end-over-end kick toward the sideline, but it takes a OCS bounce, and it's going to end up on the Cedar Creek side of the field. So another great field position opportunity for OCS at the 49-yard line of Cedar Creek. So again, Eagles have had great field position throughout, Eric.
Off the 19-yard punt by Auger. Pressured there from the outside by Ouachita Christian, leaving the Eagles with great starting field position. Plus 49. Most underrated stat in football, average starting field position.
From the 49 of Cedar Creek, shifting up front, option play right, nowhere to go, reverses field. Herring makes a cut. He got something positive out of what looked like a negative play, picks up 3 yards. It's a good job by Herring.
Tight end trips for the Eagles there, tried speed option. Cougars shut it down. Nice cutback, physical run by the quarterback, Herring.
Second down and 7 from the 46-yard line of the Cougars, and they'll go with twin receivers right and a single to the left. Single setback. That is Dylan Dugan. And Herring wants to throw it. Has time. Throws down the middle and hit a defender, incomplete. Tried to go to Fitzhugh, but a flag comes down on the play. The defender was J.T. Stevens, who has a couple of interceptions on the season. But it certainly looks like he might get flagged here based on the direction of the flag being thrown. And now they're going to wave it off, so they're going to say incomplete pass.
I think that's the right call.
Ascension Catholic, one of the top teams in Division 4. They lead White Castle 15-0. Second quarter, Basile leads Elton 14-0 tonight. And in Mississippi tonight, St. Charles Catholic 7, Port Gibson 0 in the second quarter as well. Highland Baptist leading Covenant Christian 14-7 late first quarter. Here it's 7-0 second quarter. Ouachita Christian on top, and they play 3rd and 7 from the Cedar Creek 46. Herring retreating. Good pocket down the middle, incomplete. So incomplete. Tristan Wiley was the closest receiver to the ball, but not close. And OCS will likely punt it.
Double stack formation there. Great job by Cedar Creek in man coverage. Previous play on second down, doubles formation with a tight end. When you see that formation, expect a tight end drag. That is Ouachita Christian's signature play out of doubles with a tight end.
Single receiver dropping deep. That's J.T. Stevens to receive the punt, which is away. This ball is hammered toward the sideline. It goes out of bounds. And let's see where they decide they're going to mark it. Probably up around the 20, I would guess. Going to stop at about the 18 with 9:58 to play in the first half. Cedar Creek gets an important stop, and they get the ball back, trailing 7-0.
Nice punt by Graves, pinning the Cougars back inside their 20 at the 18. One thing you want to do against a triple option offense is make them drive the length of the field, because there's so many times with so many dives, quarterback keep, option possibility with them putting the football on the ground. You've seen them put it on the ground a few times tonight.
Receiver split left, tight otherwise. Blue, the running back. Auger balking signals, gives to Blue. Blue has to fight hard to get across the 20 and out near the 22-yard line. So Blue able to fight his way forward for about 3. Going to mark it at the 21, a gain of 3. It's 2nd and 7. So Blue had some good runs early, and they've tightened things up inside since then, haven't they, Eric?
They sure have. Eye twins for the Cougars there. Veer play. One thing you want to do if you're Ouachita Christian, who lost 2 defensive starters on their front last week, rotate a lot of guys in, is give them some different looks. Stunt and pre-snap shift. Give the quarterback different reads, as you see right there.
2nd and 7 from the 21. This time Auger wants to throw it. Under pressure, deep down the middle, wide open and dropped at midfield. Oh, he hit the receiver right in the hands, bless his heart. Just could not catch the football, which was really well delivered under pressure. A.J. Thomas unable to come down with the football. It's that simple.
A.J. Thomas wide open on the post route. Nice play action pass. Look for the Cougars. Had him wide open.
Hit as he threw, too.
Hit him in stride. If he catches it, great possibility for 6 points.
Did not happen, and it is 3rd down and 7 as a result.
Great call on a run down for a triple option offense.
On 3rd and 7. Auger, and we'll get flags coming down because they took too much time. That will be the second penalty for 10 yards against the Cougars. 3rd and 7 becomes 3rd and 12. This portion of tonight's game is being presented by Rockin' Bowl, with locations in New Orleans and Lafayette. For the latest live music schedules, visit rockinbowl.com. So 3rd down and 12 now from the 16. And they'll go with twin receivers left side. One split way out, the other further in toward the slot position. Auger with twin running backs behind him, I formation. Takes the snap, rolls left. Throwback pass coming, it's there. And a flag comes down, and the ball carrier, receiver, will go down Ball came out too. OCS came up with it. I'm going to say he was down at about the 18-yard line. So that was Jared Miller, who is wearing 24 tonight. We were told he wears something different, but he isn't. The play was just a 2-yard gain. I would assume that OCS will decline the penalty here if it was holding because they'll get the football back. Referee will make the call. It's a personal foul against OCS. That is a huge call. So a big penalty against OCS, a personal foul. 15-yard penalty is going to give Cedar Creek a first down. That's huge.
No question. Extends the drive for the Cougars. One thing you'll see, second and third and long.
Roughing the quarterback, as we just saw.
No question.
Was the call.
Second and third and long for the Cougars. They have a load of different screens that you will see them run to both running backs, also the tight end, also to receivers on tunnel screens and now screens.
34-yard line, the line of scrimmage now after the 15-yard infraction. And they run Blue inside, and he's stacked up immediately. Blue able to fall forward for a yard to the 35, but after a fast start, they've slowed him down, taking away the dive.
They have, I think your defensive scheme needs to be built around stopping Blue, stopping midline, stopping inside and outside veer.
Blue is now 9 carries for 36 yards as he's had 9 of the 10 running plays for Cedar Creek in the game. 2nd and 9, 35-yard line. 8:24 and counting in the first half. 7-0 Ouachita Christian on top. From the 35, I formation, Worthy dots the I. And whistles sound before the snap. Might have had a timeout. Or was there another flag? Get the call here.
Looks like it could be delay.
It is another delay. The second delay they've had on this possession. Is that a matter of just not getting the plays in the game in time, or quarterback taking too much time? Or
quarterback taking too much time.
Yeah.
They're getting the plays in very early, as you see right here. And it's just a matter of not being aware. You've got the shot clock, as I like to call it, as it ticks down.
Second
you got it right in your line of sight as a quarterback.
Second and 13 once again for the 30. Overcame it with a penalty last time. Shifting up front on defense. Auger fakes, wants to throw. Auger is going to go down. Ball comes out, and OCS has it. So OCS comes up with its second turnover of the game. This time it is Christian Gray who comes up with a fumble on the sack, and Ouachita Christian is in business once again.
Play action off the dive option. Great pressure by the defensive front of the Eagles, causing a fumble. And once again, starting off in great field position, this time at the plus 24.
24 of Cedar Creek with 7:35 to play off of the turnover. As Gray recovered the fumble. On first down, going to run Fitzhugh. Fitzhugh runs through a tackle and another good hard run inside the 20. And he fights down to about the 17-yard line. It's a very good run by Fitzhugh. As Fitzhugh kept those knees churning and battled through contact to the 18-yard line. But Fitzhugh makes it 2nd and 4 in the gain of 6. Fitzhugh 3 carries, 28 yards. Good things happen when he touches the ball.
No question. Been around for 4 years, a staple in this Eagle offense.
Up back slots right, and they're going to run that way. Fitzhugh cuts in off of him and dives across the 15, close to the first down. He needed the 14. That's about where he got. As Fitzhugh followed Van David Mathern into the hole, and he gets the first down at the 14-yard line.
Nice run there on the power play for Fitzhugh. Backside guard pulls behind number 56. Fitzhugh stretched it horizontally and then put his right foot in the ground and got behind the puller. And
it's 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Physical runner.
And David Matherney up back, a keeper here. And he broke one tackle and fights through another and gets inside the 10. Does Herring with a nice run to about the 8-yard line. So Herring doing some good running there. As he'll pick up 6 yards to make it 2nd and 4 at the 8. 4 carries, 21 yards for Herring.
Looked like quarterback ISO there for Herring.
Anytime the quarterback keeps, you get the extra blocker. 2nd down and 4 at the 8.
Such a physical downhill runner. Great size for Herring.
Takes the snap, runs Fitzhugh, and Fitzhugh has short gain, about a yard. And that's about all, so it's going to be 3rd down and about 3. So Fitzhugh got a yard. It's 3rd and 3, just inside the 8-yard line. Remember, Cedar Creek got a stop earlier in the game in the red zone.
One of their favorite plays in short yardage on 3rd and short is to fake the speed sweep and run the quarterback. Doesn't look like it'll happen out of this formation.
And Herring will keep it, and Herring cuts back, and Herring is diving to the end zone. And Will Herring getting it done for a touchdown. 7 yards out, and it's a 13-0 lead for Ouachita Christian. Well, indeed, he did keep it, and it worked.
Downhill runner is Herring. What a physical runner he is, and at this level, quarterback power is a great play when you have such a physical downhill runner with your quarterback. Adds an extra dimension to your offense.
Harrell for the extra point, but the whistle sounded before the kick, so we'll do it again. So Harrell will try it one more time. Holder is Walker Morris. Got a lightning delay in the New Orleans area. Haynes and Pope John Paul II in a lightning delay.
30-minute wait before being able to resume play.
St. Charles Catholic 14, Port Gibson, Mississippi nothing midway through the 2nd quarter. Keep an eye on the comments there. Very good.
Team to watch in Division III.
No question. Snap, spot, kick is up very high, and it is very accurate. So with 5:25 to play in the first half, 14-0. OCS on top, taking advantage of the sack fumble and scoring. Well done, and a really good job by Herring on the run.
Ouachita Christian taking advantage of the short field. Thought Cedar Creek in 2 of the previous drives when they were on the defensive side of the ball did a great job of stopping the Eagles. This time Ouachita Christian successful with the running of Fitzhugh and of course the finishing blow of quarterback Hunter Herring.
Well, the one storyline that's held up perfectly was the one I mentioned before kickoff, plus 14 in turnovers, make it plus 16 now.
It's incredible. When you have a turnover ratio of plus 16, hard for you to lose. Probably, I think it would be safe to say they are number 2 in the state in any classification in turnover ratio, only second to Rummel, who's plus 19, as you mentioned, against very solid competition.
Actually, Rummel's plus 16. They have 19 forced on the year, so OCS is right there with them.
19 forced,
yeah.
Okay.
Very impressive. And Brother Martin's not far behind. I think they're 15. So you want to know why teams win? Start right there. Great defense, forcing turnovers. Kickoff down to about the 13-yard line. Using his blockers well and getting across the 30 and out near the 35. It's a solid return for Cedar Creek by J.T. Stevens. And Cougars in need of a drive, get it back with 5:20 to play in the first, trailing 14-0.
Double wedge scheme there for the Cougars on their kickoff return. One thing I liked about Stevens was his patience and making it an inside zone run play, which most kickoff returns are. Staying patient instead of making a right or left turn. Just waiting, being patient, and making that one cut downhill on kick return.
1st and 10 from the 33, wide side, right side of the field. Single receiver left. Miller motions. Slots right, which they do a lot. Long count here, and you're asking that offensive line to stay too long, and again, I think they took too much time. Or did they get a timeout before it happened? So what's he doing there, Rick? I would assume he's trying to read the defense, but obviously taking too long in the process.
No question. The play gets in there with more than enough time. Ouachita Christian's doing a great job with their pre-snap movement, going from head up 4 on the tackle and then moving down to a 3 tech, or taking the defensive tackle and moving from a 5 tech to the inside eye, 4-eye technique of the tackle. So trying to confuse the reads of quarterback Auger. Nice catch, Ken.
Thank you. I'm in the game. Just what I wanted.
Football, courtesy of the Ruston Fire Department, that flew from the track through the window of the press box. Great catch by Ken Trahan.
Still got it. It's because I'm wearing my St. Louis Cardinals shirt, so there you
Your
go.
team and my team in baseball is still alive. Cardinals and Yankees.
Got that right. Two most storied franchises in baseball. Why not? So, first down, 15 yards to go. 27-yard line. Blue gets the ball. Blue gets about 3.
Sometimes just a designated give is the call instead of pulling it. Looked like the entire defense was keying in on Blue there. If a pull would have been attached to that play instead of a designated give, might have had a little something there on the perimeter.
2nd and 12 at the 30-yard line with 4:50 to play in the half. 14-0, the lead for Ouachita Christian. Miller will again slot right. Off the fake, Herring is going to be hit. Herring escapes somehow. Herring trying to get to the corner. Good tackle around the ankles at about the 33-yard line to prevent him from popping out of there by 57, Grant Mayshaw, who came up with the turnover earlier.
Auger showing his athletic ability, making plays with his feet, breaking 2 attempts at a sack, which would have put him at a 3rd and close to 20. And because of his athletic ability, gets back inside the chains, and now it's a much more manageable 3rd and 8.
At the 34-yard line, 3rd down, and 8 yards to go. 3rd and a long 8. And again, the whistles sound. This time a timeout taken by Cedar Creek. So they'll have 1 remaining. Each team has just 1 left here with 3:44 to play in the half. Well, 2 things about their passing game. They don't throw it much. They had a receiver open, could have been a big play earlier, just couldn't catch it. And then the other times they tried to throw it, protection has been an issue, right?
No question. One thing in their previous games, they've been able to play action, guy fake to the fullback, and then hit a receiver. And he's been wide open in previous games. You've seen that today on the play action post on the previous drive that was dropped. Could see a screen here, middle screen to the fullback, something we've seen in earlier games.
We get a little Black Sabbath in the break here. We're getting a really good mixture of music here this evening, aren't we?
Some great classic rock pregame and in timeout breaks.
You and I having fun with that. 3rd down and 8 at the 34. And off the fake, Herring going to throw the slant and in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Ball low, but catchable. Just couldn't quite come up with it. Tried to get it to Blue, and that's going to result in a Cedar Creek punt.
Looked like a play action pass and a throwback to the fullback on an angle route coming out of the backfield. Had him, great concept there, great call there, and had the ball going to their best player, and that's what you want to do. Find your best player, get him the football. Schemed it up pretty good, just
Auger to punt. Fitzhugh stands at his 40. Hammers this one way over Fitzhugh's head. And he didn't try to field it. It bounces inside the 25, down to the 23. Okay, so I think that's a game situation. They're up by 14, so why take a chance of picking that ball up? If you need to make a play there, perhaps he tries to pick up that ball.
Yeah, I'm always under the notion, hey, field the punt. Field every punt you possibly can, unless it's going to be 4-second or more hang time. Field it on the bounce, make something out of it, and he definitely can with his athletic ability. But felt a little pressure there with the coverage unit, and in that case, let the ball bounce around.
Start at the 23-yard line, does OCS. First down. Herring off the fake, slant route there, caught across the 30 and out to the 33, and a good start to the drive as he ran the quick slant and got it to Tristan Wiley. His 8th catch of the year, came in with 7 catches, 152 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and he gets a first down at the 33.
Impressed with the physical body that Wiley has for the Eagles, number 3. Definitely a big target.
A 10-yard gain and a 1st and 10 at the 23, or at the 33, rather. Herring wants to throw it again. Steps up, pressure, he's going to go down. Sacked at the 30, flag comes down late, probably holding, and likely declined as a result of the sack by Leighton Riley. It is holding against the Eagles. First sack of the game for Cedar Creek, comes at a good time for the Cougars.
And on a call like that, it's either holding on the offense or a face mask on the defensive side of the ball. See tight end trips there the past 2 plays.
And they're going to take the penalty, so that's going to negate the sack. And they're going to put the ball back at the 22-yard line, it appears. So that's an 11-yard penalty against OCS, point of the infraction.
Tight end trips again, and a lot of times they'll try and read the one receiver with Wiley right here to the bottom.
1st and 21, nice run on the weak side. Get a lot of that back. Really nice run near the 40-yard line as they went weak side with Dylan Dugan, and it popped beautifully to the 39-yard line. So Dugan gets a whole bunch back here, up to the 39. That's a gain of 17 yards.
Dugan showing why he's averaging 9.7 yards a carry coming into tonight's game.
He's averaging 17 a carry in this one, 2 carries, 34 yards. 2nd down and 4 yards to go. Under 3 minutes to play, and the half clock stopped as he went out of bounds. Dugan, the lone setback. Twin receivers right, a single to the left. Herring, straight keeper. Herring has the first down and more. Nice cutback. Herring is loose. He may go. He is going the distance. Will Herring, 61 yards on the nice cutback. No flags. And Ouachita Christian has a 20-0 lead.
Tight end trips again. Pre-snap read, look at the single receiver to the bottom. If not, check it to your quarterback run, quarterback ISO. Great job following your back. Dugan, and then making a great cut is Herring.
61-yard run, 20-0 Eagles. And Samuel Harrell for the extra point. And he left foots it up, and good. So with 2:46 to play in the first half, it's all Eagles, 21-0 over the Cougars. That's just a 3-play drive, 77 yards. Herring, 61-yard touchdown.
Tremendous dimension it gives your offense when you have a quarterback that can run the football, especially one that's as physical and downhill a runner as Herring.
So 21-0 OCS in command here with 2:46 to play in the half. And it's not the type of team, being Cedar Creek, that is really built to come from behind by a large margin with running the triple option.
No question, Ken. You're down 3 scores, and you have 2:46 to work. Maybe throw a screen pass on 1st and 10, or you try and just move the chains, maybe try a hitch and pitch, or a double pass.
OCS has dominated this series. They lead 11-2 all time. They won 39-0 last year in Monroe. But 2 years ago here on this field, Cedar Creek won 42-18. Not tonight.
No, not right now. That's not the way it looks. We saw last week.
Kickoff on the move, fielded, drop. Blue picks it up. Trying to find yardage. He does. Down the middle of the field. Excellent return as he's in across midfield and gives Cedar Creek very good field position down to the OCS 48-yard line, and that's what they needed, a big play.
With one timeout, now you can be a little patient with the ball at the 48-yard line of the Eagles. Shorter field to work with. You've got less real estate to work with, and time is still on your side. Mentioned last week, we saw a 20-0 lead for the U-High Cubs, and the Parkview Baptist Eagles cut it to 20-14 going into half. Stranger things have happened.
1st and 10 of the 48. Straight I formation. And the pitch, and tripped up and hit immediately and driven straight back is Jed Worthy, who got his first carry, and it did not happen for Worthy.
Looked like a toss ISO there.
Yeah, that's a straight power play, but the battle was won up front by the Eagles on that play.
Get your tailback behind your best offensive player, who's 6'4", 243. Nothing doing there.
Clock running as we approach 2 minutes to play in the half. 2nd and 10 at the 48 of OCS for Cedar Creek. Auger the snap, straight pitch play coming. Worthy, 45, hit hard and bounces off a tackler and gets an extra yard to the 44. Picks up 4. It's going to be 3rd and 6, and the clock will run.
Wider toss play there. Put your foot in the ground, get in the alley. Good 2nd and 10 play there for the Cougars. Got time is still on your side with just one timeout remaining.
Took a big shot and fell forward. 3rd and 6, a minute 30 and counting to play in the half.
Cougars in their 3-5-3 base defense. Looks like they're could be playing cover 0 with the free safety cheated over outside the tight end.
And they're going to run it inside, and that's not much for Worthy. I mean, again, this situation, kind of tough to run it consistently when your clock's running down. Got to the 42-yard line for 2, but he's short, and it's 4th down. And will they go for it 4th and 3? I don't see why not at this stage.
Have to go for it 4th and 4. They're probably going to let the clock work down a little bit. They've got plenty of time to get the play in. Not as fast as you'd like it with the clock ticking down.
No.
Still have a timeout. Have to have a play there ready to go.
Sent Carter Hill in with the play. Clock's ticking down under 40 seconds now. 4th down and 3. And now the whistle sounds and a timeout called by Cedar Creek with 35 seconds left. Well, part of the thinking there is they didn't want to give the ball back to OCS with any time left, I would imagine.
No question. You can let a little time burn there. Don't call the timeout right away. Let it tick down. Come up with your best play here on 4th and 4 to extend the drive. Then you can come back and spike the ball if you'd like to on 1st and 10, or run another play real quick and then come back and spike it.
Ascension Catholic 21, White Castle 6 in the 2nd quarter of that game this evening. Basile 20 and Elton 8 in the 2nd quarter. And Kenner Discovery is up 21-7 on Ben Franklin at the half. BJ Sprunk's Swamp Owls doing a good job. Highland Baptist 28-7 over Covenant Christian. Late first half in that game.
Nice to see Kenner Discovery in their first year of varsity football having some success under former John Curtis Patriot PJ Sprunk. Gerald Fincher, longtime AD at Grace King, is the AD at Kenner Discovery.
4th and 42. Cedar Creek going for it. Auger runs the power, toss to Blue. He'll get the first down. Down to the 36. That'll stop the clock, but now there's 29 seconds left. There's 7 yards for Blue and a first down, but now the clock is down to 29. They got to be on the ball, and they've got to throw the football.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to spike the football when the play's whistled in.
With 1 timeout left, that's what they do. And the clock did not run. How can that happen?
I don't think the white hat whistled the ball into play.
Yeah.
I saw him wind his arm to start the clock and didn't whistle it in.
Well, you can't have a play with not any time coming off the clock. That's not possible. And that's what just happened. And it's 2nd down and 10. It's a break for Cedar Creek. Still 29 seconds. I'm surprised the Ouachita Christian sideline isn't raising their voices about that. Auger under center on 2nd and 10. Off the fake, Herring is going to go deep, double coverage, end zone, tipped, and incomplete. Had a shot, but couldn't quite fit it in there. Even in the coverage, had a chance there for the play, but the pass falls incomplete. JT Stevens was out there. Coverage was tight. Twins in coverage on the play, and they're talking about it walking back. Fitzhugh was trailing on the play. He was down there, but the other defensive back was there to be able to get a hand on it and knock it away. And that was number 5, Landon Graves. So it's 3rd down. And 10 yards to go, 21 seconds left. Auger takes the snap. Play fakes, heavy rush. He's in trouble. Flag down for holding. He's going to gun it down the middle and complete. But it would have come back anyway. Clearly a hold on the play. And if you're OCS, you push him back here.
No question. Push him back further away from the goal line.
Well, also, it's where the spot of the foul was. Although it looks to me like they're going to measure it from the line of scrimmage, although the flag was like 5 yards behind it. Now they're going to mow back there where the flag was. Must have heard me.
Spot foul, of course, in National Federation rules.
Yep, and as I say, for the 1,000th time, you can have that. 12-yard penalty, the result. 32 yards. And back to the 49-yard line now. So with 15 seconds left, back at the 49-yard line, it's 3rd down and 22. And again, 15 seconds left.
Watch your double pass right here at the bottom.
Yep, in the deep spot out wide is Stevens. Might get a quick toss, he will. There it is, and he dropped the ball, and it's a fumble. He's got to get on it. It's a backwards pass, so that's a fumble. Way back at the 40 on the botch play, and that should end the half. And it will end the half. So halftime arrives, and it's all Ouachita Christian. The Eagles leading Cedar Creek by the score of 21-0. As the Eagles really dominating play from the start. Kate Adams will try to get Coach Fitzhugh on the far side, and we'll see if we can get that accomplished. And she's trying to locate him now, so we'll check and see when she's able to do so. So 21-0, the lead for Ouachita Christian. Very impressive with what they've been able to accomplish thus far in the first half. Really controlling play from the start. And taking a 21-0 lead to the break. And I think Coach Fitzhugh got away there, but we'll still get down to Kate eventually here and check in with her. So, you know, kind of even for the first 6-7 minutes, and since then, Eric, it's been all Ouachita Christian.
All Ouachita Christian. Now Cedar Creek has to play catch-up down 21-0. Not a preferred position, especially with the triple option offense. You saw there, they tried to catch Ouachita Christian off guard with their formation, tried the double pass, and couldn't execute it, couldn't execute the throw to the receiver. Probably their best shot there to come up with something on the last play of the half. If you throw an interception, then just cover it and tackle the defender that makes the pick, and it's like a punt.
Well, we don't have any hydration breaks tonight, but tonight's game is brought to you by Powerade, the official sideline thirst quencher of the LHSAA. Want to help your school get updated equipment, upgrade facilities, or buy some new uniforms? Enter for a chance to win $2,000 for your school's athletic programs by submitting a video or essay to Powerade Power Your School. Enter at PoweradePowerYourSchool.com. 21-0 lead at the half for the Ouachita Christian Eagles. We'll take the time out here. When we return, an opportunity to hear another impressive interview that Kate Adams will conduct. So stay tuned for that as we continue from Ruston. 21-0, Ouachita Christian on top. And this is the Allstate Sugar Bowl LHSAA Thursday Night Football Game of the Week, a presentation of Crescent City Sports.
A lot of important things going on right now in volleyball. We're kind of in the heat of the moment right now in the volleyball season, but some important dates. The first date I want to talk about is October 26th. Tell some of the people involved in volleyball what they need to do by October 26th.
October 26th is the last date to add a match for power points. So if you want those matches to count towards your power ratings, you need to get those added before the 26th.
And why are those power ratings, I guess, so important?
They're very important because that determines where you're seated on the bracket based on your level.
Well, speaking of brackets, the brackets will actually be released on November 4th. So once these brackets are released, what can we expect?
Well, we can expect some really good matches throughout the playoffs, and then our state championships will be held at the Punch Train Center November 14th through 16th.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the state championships. How long have they been at the Pontchartrain Center, and what are we looking forward to this year? If you don't know the exact amount of years, maybe kind of give a ballpark.
Well, it's been there as long as I remember. I don't know exactly. I don't know if it's ever been anywhere else. Not that I remember. But Pontchartrain Center does a great job, and we're very excited to go back there again this year to host our events there.
Anything else happening right now in the volleyball world here in Louisiana that we need to either let coaches or parents or students know about?
Not that I'm aware of at the moment. Just a lot of great matches. I'll be leaving here shortly to head to a match myself. So just if you haven't been out to catch a match, get out and see some. We have some really good volleyball teams in our state.
While I have you here with me, one thing here at the LHSAA that we are always trying to push and promoting is how important sportsmanship is. Just talk a little bit about sportsmanship with me.
Sportsmanship, yes, very, very important. I think that our coaches need to lead by example. Our parents need to lead by example and just show our young athletes what sportsmanship truly looks like. And I think we're on the right track promoting the sportsmanship. It's very important.
Well, as always, our motto for sportsmanship is compete with class. So make sure you're always practicing that, whether you're a student athlete or a parent or a coach or anything. Always, have integrity in the game and respect the sport itself. Thank you so much, Ms. Hoyt, for taking time with me.
Thank you.
I'm here with LHSAA Assistant Executive Director, Adam McDowell. Adam, you are the Director of Cross Country. Lots going on in cross country right now, but something really important that coaches, administrators, and student athletes all need to be reminded of, and that's to basically make sure that you're registered. So talk about the importance of that.
That's right. So we have a registration. It's basically a two-pronged registration process for all of our sports. So the athletic director or the principal, when they register a student athlete, they have to select the sports that athlete will be participating in for the season. And then, once all the eligibility documents are in place, the principal has to submit those student athletes to the roster. So what we find happening each week in cross country in particular is that we have students that are participating in a cross country race that have gone through the registration process, but either the principal or the athletic director has not submitted those student athletes yet to the actual roster. So when they do that, those kids are actually participating without being fully eligible yet. So there is a penalty for that, small financial fine. No penalty to the student because it's an adult mistake. So our coaches, athletic directors, and principals just need to make sure that they're following up with each other before these student athletes participate to ensure that they've been submitted to the roster.
And can you basically just check on that? What's your time frame is when you have to submit all that information?
You can submit it all throughout the season up, until you have to register for the state championship.
Well, registration, staying on that topic, changed a little bit as far as the website that you go to submit everything for championship. So talk about that. Just tell us where they need to go and how to do it.
That's right. We were switching over from Direct Athletics to athletic.net. So it's a new third-party software system that we're using. It's got a great championship tool in there that allows us to, for our 5A schools, to auto-advance all of those qualifiers from the 5A regionals to the state championship. So it helps our timers out with some registration complications there. And then also everybody 4A on down, they're able to register through there, and we'll have direct access to those athletes. So we're not leaving anybody behind.
Something else I would like to talk to you about, bass fishing is new for the LHSAA. It's currently a non-sanctioned sport, but in the 2020 school year, we will see bass fishing. So tell me just about how this whole process even got started and give me some just general information on it.
Well, I was up in Shreveport for wrestling state championships, and it just so happened that a representative from the FLW, the Fishing League Worldwide, was up there as well, getting some things together for either a college tournament or one of their club tournaments up there. And I was put in contact with Dave Washburn from the FLW, and I was told that in their junior fishing tournaments throughout the year, the majority of their registration comes from kids in Louisiana, and I thought that was intriguing. I had no idea that we had so many kids that participate in bass fishing that also go to our member schools. So I said, hey, look, I'll send out a survey to all of our member schools and see if there's any interest in our kids or our schools participating in it. And we do have a constitutional bylaw that says to add a new sport, you need to have at least 80 schools willing to participate. And when I got the survey results back, we found that 82 schools already participate in club bass fishing, and then 174 principals said that they would adopt the sport tomorrow if it were offered. So that kind of gave us the go-ahead to get approved for a probationary period of bass fishing for this 2020 season coming up in March and April. And we're running 4 regionals across the state and a state championship up at Cross Lake and Shreveport on April 3rd and 4th.
Well, it's definitely exciting to have something new like that coming to the LHSAA. So thank you for all your hard work and getting bass fishing over to LHSAA currently. Any other information you need to give on any of the sports that you're in charge of?
In bass fishing in particular, if you want to get involved, go to highschoolfishing.org, register your high school team and all your student athletes. And if you need any more information on what regional you'll be participating in, go to our website at LHSAA.org and click on bass fishing.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Adam.
Thank you.
where the Ouachita Christian Eagles lead the Cedar Creek Cougars 21-0. Ken Trahan, Eric Held, Kate Adams with you. Thanks to Sadie once again for a job well done tonight. The entire crew here making it possible from Ruston this evening. And it's been all OCS, and it's also been the Hunter Herring Show, who has run for 2 touchdowns and passed for 1 in the first half. The touchdown pass was to Will Fitzhugh, covering 35 yards. You look at the yardage in the first half. Hunter Herring, running the football, has 7 carries, 86 yards, and 2 touchdowns, and he's 2 for 5 for 45 yards in a score. So he has been the star. Will Fitzhugh has rushed 5 times for 33 yards and has a catch for 35 yards and a touchdown. Dylan Dugan, 2 carries for 34 yards. Landon Grace, 3 carries for 10 yards for Ouachita Christian, who has amassed 204 yards of offense in the first half. Cedar Creek has not completed a pass. Brooks Auger 0 for 3, and they have rushed for 61 yards total, including Lane Blue, who has been the primary ball carrier for them. 11 carries for 46 yards. Jet Worthy, 3 carries for 7 yards, and the quarterback Brooks Auger is 2 carries for 8 yards. 5 penalties, 32 yards on Cedar Creek. 2 penalties, 26 yards on Ouachita Christian. But the big number, the turnovers. 2 for Cedar Creek and none for Ouachita Christian. Kind of playing to the script in that regard.
Yeah, coming in, you mentioned they were plus 14 in the turnover ratio game. Now they're plus 16. Hard to overcome when you turn the ball over twice. You're a triple option offense, and you give Ouachita Christian, who's a very solid team in Class 1A, favorable field position. Short way to go for the Eagles, and as the song's playing at halftime, long way to go, short time to get there. It's kind of the theme for the Cedar Creek offense in the second half.
Lincoln Prep leads Plain Dealing 7-6 tonight. Northwood leading Booker T. Washington Shreveport 28-14. As we keep you posted on other occurrences this evening. Basile 27, Elton 8 at halftime, and Ascension Catholic 35, White Castle 6 nearing the end of the first half in that contest this evening. We mentioned Pope John Paul and Haynes were in a lightning delay in New Orleans.
Glad we're able to escape any type of weather from down south coming up here to north along I-20. Mentioned Ascension Catholic, been to the Dome the last 2 years. State runner-up in Division 4, one of the best programs in Division 4. I think you're seeing another top program here in Division 4 in Ouachita Christian. And without the turnovers for Cedar Creek, a team that's kind of on the fringe of possibly being a quarterfinal type program in Division 4.
Sure, it's a good class. Vermilion Catholic, Opelousas Catholic, Ascension Catholic, Southern Lab, of course, Calvary Baptist, real good. Country Day is still formidable. St. Edmund, Catholic Point Capay, Westminster Christian, Cedar Creek, Riverside Academy, to name quite a few of the teams in Division 4.
Wow, some impressive programs you mentioned there. Some that have been classified in Class 2A in the past that have been on the fringe of around 250 students, which kind of is the borderline every year between 240 and 250, and you get Ouachita Christian that's right under that border, and a few other schools as well.
Ty Lally kicks it off. It's a pooch kick, sideline, and caught. No fair catch call, but the catch made and possession retained and good field position as a result at about the 44-yard line as Walker Morris came up with it. That's one of those that you probably want a fair catch, right?
Sure, you want a fair catch and ensure possession instead of taking the big hit. Of course, the ball has to hit the ground or a player for the kicking team to recover. And you kind of expected Cedar Creek down 3 scores to come out and try something gimmicky on the second half kickoff.
Start from the 44. That's been a staple of this game as well. OCS with very good field position. Starting from there. And a quick snap and the quarterback keep. Herring plows ahead to the 49. So Herring picks up 5, picks up where he left off in the first half. He now has 91 yards rushing. And it's going to be 2nd and 5 for the Eagles at the 49.
Tight end trips there, Ken, and when you see that, good play, good formation, run quarterback power, great play call there by Drew Vadrine, offensive coordinator for the Eagles.
2nd and 5 of the 49. Quick throw coming, and that's caught. The slant, first down across the 45 and down to the Cedar Creek 41-yard line. Tristan Wiley, his second catch of the game, well delivered.
Any type of trips formation, a lot of times coordinators will give their quarterback the leeway. Look to that one receiver side. See what type of leverage they're playing you over there. If the corner's off, if there's no flat player, hit him with a quick slant, just like you see there, a quick 3-step slant.
Gain of 10, 1st and 10 at the 41 of the Cougars. First possession of the second half. Herring rolling right. Looking, has a man wide open, and he throws it to him, and it's caught. And close to the marker, might be just short, as Eli Eckstein, who popped wide open right away.
Here's something I expected Ouachita Christian to do much earlier in the game, is come out and throw the football a little more. And they were in tight end trips again with a sprint out there and a nice comeback route by the receiver. See a lot of times as they get closer to the goal line, you'll have an out route from the outside receiver in a corner from the slot.
2nd down and 1 from the 33, and he wants to throw again. Under heavy pressure, deep down the middle, incomplete. The pressure was too strong for him. He just didn't have time to set himself and throw the football because the pressure was applied very nicely by the Cougars in the person of Nicholas Adams, as the pass down the middle was incomplete. Just no time to really get the ball to the intended receiver, who was Barham White.
Nice pressure from the Cougar front. 2nd and 1, good time to take a shot there. It was trips formation and 4 vertical concept.
3rd and 1, just run the quarterback keep, 1st down. Hard hit, but barrels inside the 30 to about the 29. So picks up 4, and Herring will move the chains with another 1st down for OCS.
Downhill physical runner, take the lick and then fall forward, issue the body blow to the defenders, wear them down. Eagles not afraid to run the quarterback. I really like it. Adds an extra added dimension to your offense.
Remember, he was hurt on the first play from scrimmage, but was able to come back about 3 plays later and has been in ever since from the 29-yard line of Cedar Creek. Ouachita Christian operates. Fitzhugh in the backfield. And he'll get the call this time, and Fitzhugh sprints through a hole and crosses the 25 and gets down inside the 20. Good run by Fitzhugh as he exposes a good block and gets 12 yards and another 1st down inside the 20 as the Eagles are in the red zone.
Fullback lined up tight to the formation on the right side, back opposite the fullback. Big tell there for the offenses to run power. When the back and the fullback are on the same side, a lot of time you'll see counter tray.
6th play of the drive. Start the second half. OCS in good shape here at the 19 of Cedar Creek. Sets him down. Counter play right. And this time no room. Good job to shut down Fitzhugh, and first man there laying on his back for Cedar Creek was number 1 Logan Johnson. The junior came in with 32 tackles. Gain of 2 at 2nd and 8.
Yeah, Ken, as I alluded to before, when the tailback and the sniffer fullback are aligned on the same side, a lot of times you will see counter tray. Great job by the Cougar front in seeing that and sniffing out.
2nd down and 8. Going to run it wide left. Cutbacks there. Fitzhugh sprints. Fitzhugh is going to be barreling down into the end zone. Touchdown. So Fitzhugh runs through a tackle, and he's in from 17 yards out to make it 27-0.
Nice read play there by the Eagles. You have the threat of quarterback Herring as he stretches him horizontally. You're going to get a crease there where he can keep it inside. They kind of hunker down on the inside. Go ahead and read it. Give it to Fitzhugh. Nice play there by the Eagles.
8-play drive, 56 yards. Harrell will try the extra point, trying to make it 28-0 here momentarily.
They sprinkled in some throws there, more throws than we've seen from them in the first half. Work on your passing game with a little bit of a lead. Expect to see him come out for another series if they score and get up by 5 touchdowns. I think you'll see the youngster Graves come in who can execute this offense just fine.
And the kick is up by Harrell, and it is good once again, so he's 4 for 4. And with 8:34 to play, it is 28-0 OCS over Cedar Creek here in the third quarter. So they picked up where they left off with a nice drive to start the third quarter, Eric.
Yeah, that's something you want to come out and do. They were able to field the gimmick kickoff to start, and then they had a short field again. That's kind of been the story of the night. Cedar Creek did a good job in the first half, stopping them twice on short fields, but Ouachita Christian just wears them down a little bit, and their offensive skill is impressive.
Second touchdown for Fitzhugh, one running, one receiving. And a very impressive performance by OCS. Let's check in now with Kate Adams, who's standing by on the sideline. Kate, what do you have?
Caught up with Eagles coach Fitzhugh just at the half, asked him what his message was to his team was basically keep it up, and they want to stop the Cougars' game plan. Asking one of the Cougars players what Coach Brown's message was to their team is you got to stay in the game and you cannot give up. Still continue to make big plays. Back to you guys.
Kickoff will bounce. Dropped. Blue picks it up. Remember last time he made something out of it, but not this time. The coverage good. Does get it out close to the 30-yard line. And Cedar Creek will try to get its offense going. It's been an issue being able to do so.
When they have elected to throw the football, Ken, they've struggled protecting the quarterback. They had a drop on a post route off a play action that really could have narrowed the gap, could have been a score after the catch and run. Unfortunately, it was dropped, and that was an opportunity there for the Cougars early to close the gap on the Eagles.
Start at the 28-yard line. Put Blue in the deep position as they made that adjustment. Tries to get to the right side, but good pursuit. Blue's better north than south. He does manage to get two, but making that switch to try to get him downhill and maybe give him more of a chance to read and react. Does get two.
Get the ball to your best player there on the power toss, and great job by the Eagles defense, allowing just 2 yards. The whole key against the Cedar Creek offense is to win first down, and the Eagle defense has done just that, winning first down.
Highland Baptist leads Covenant Christian 34-7. Snap it, run it inside. Blue hit, gets a couple as he falls forward to the 33. It's going to be 3rd and 5 as a result.
You're hoping there that Blue can pop one into open territory, run away, because he does have that speed to run away from the secondary of the Eagles, but the Eagles' front six have really done a good job in this odd stack three-man front defense.
3rd and 5, 33. 7:10 to play in the third quarter. Carter against that seven-man front, makes the counter, flag down. That's going to be a false start once again against Cedar Creek. 6 penalties, so they have hurt themselves in that capacity as well. 37 yards in penalties.
You're right, Ken. One thing that we haven't talked about is that Cedar Creek has hurt themselves with penalties throughout 2 delays, 2 false starts, something that has really bogged down their offense and put them behind the chains. That's not what you want to have a run-heavy, run-dominant offense have to do, is be in a 3rd and 10 situation.
Back to the 27-yard line, not where they wanted to be on 3rd and 10. Make 5 on 2 plays, get a 5-yard penalty, and behind the chains they play. Not the kind of football Cougars can afford to play. Fake it, throwing it, deep sideline, good coverage, and overthrown. As the coverage was very good, Graves and Fitzhugh were there with Stevens, nothing doing, and still no completed passes in the game for Cedar Creek, and they'll punt it.
Throw them open there, lead them, let the receiver run under it, just a few yards out in front, take your shot, hit them in the hole there between the trailing corner and the safety playing over the top.
Auger to punt it, Eckstein and Fitzhugh are deep. Line drive punt right at him. Eckstein at the 44, look out, 50, 45. He's going to fight forward to about the 40-yard line. of Cedar Creek, and that was kicked right to him on a line.
About a 10-yard net punt.
And again, OCS, which has had great field position throughout, will have it again. Put it at the 40-yard line of Cedar Creek with 6:31 to play in the third.
As I mentioned before, if you score here and get up 5 touchdowns, it might be a good time for you to bring Herring to the sideline and go with the youngster Graves. But let's see what we have here. Plus 40 start. Story of the game for the Eagles.
Started the 39 officially, and a good hard run inside the 35 and down to the 34-yard line goes Fitzhugh. So a good 5-yard play on first down for OCS. Fitzhugh now 69 yards rushing and a touchdown.
At this point, just pound away with your run game. Let your offensive line reset the line of scrimmage. They're doing a great job of that, coming off low, maintaining dominance, and winning the leverage battle up front.
2nd and 5. Slot man left now. Run Fitzhugh again behind him, trying to get to the corner. Got a block. Cuts back 20, 15. Or rather 25, 20, I should say, and down there at about the 20-yard line is Fitzhugh with another good run. So Fitzhugh has 14 and another first down. Play was well devised, well blocked.
Picks up another first down.
Fitzhugh on the lead zone play, bounced it outside, got outside, set up his blockers, set up the defenders as well, put his left foot in the ground, got downhill. Great vision and patience. I really like that in Fitzhugh.
From the 19, officially, Fitzhugh gets it again, breaks a tackle. Fitzhugh to the end zone, scores, and another touchdown. This time from 19 yards out, puts him over 100 yards rushing in the game. And he's got his 3rd score of the game, and Ouachita Christian has a 34-0 lead.
Tailback on the same side of the formation as the fullback. As we talked about all game, heavy counter tray play. Great job getting downhill, reading your puller, reading your wrapping fullback. See the gap, get downhill, find the end zone for another 6.
Harrell's extra point attempt is up, and it is good again. So he's 5 for 5, and with 5:05 to play in the third, it is 35-0 Ouachita Christian on top. This portion of tonight's game is being presented by Riverlands Insurance, meeting all your insurance needs, and a proud recipient of the Top Insurance Workplace Award for 2019 from Insurance Business America. Thanks to Riverlands Insurance. Next Thursday night, the Allstate Sugar Bowl LHSAA Thursday night football game of the week is in Washington Parish for an intriguing non-district matchup between St. Charles Catholic and Franklinton. Join Eric Kate and me next Thursday at 7 on the LHSAA live app or on CrescentCitySports.com. Looking forward to that one. The Comets and the Demons.
Should be a good one. St. Charles Catholic now in Division III, having some success tonight against Port Gibson from Mississippi. Last week in a close one against 5A East Ascension. It was a 14-6 ball game where it was 7-6, and the Comet defense allowed the Spartans to score so that they could get the ball back. If they got a first down, they were coached up, let them score so they could get the ball back and possibly tie the game with a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Bouncing, picked up. A lot of balls on the ground on kickoffs, and they'll be pinned back as a result.
Number 5 lane move with a run back.
4:50 to play in the third, and Cedar Creek will try again.
Number 14, Christian Gray on the tackle for the Eagles.
Great open field tackle on kickoff coverage. Again, the ball's bouncing on the ground. One thing you didn't see there from the Ouachita Christian coverage unit is breaking down their stride and coasting to the football. Full speed, avoid, then stack the blockers and leverage the returner. Great job that time.
Starting from the 19-yard line, or rather from the 15-yard line, right around the 15. Miller gets the carry, and he gets short yardage. So Miller able to get 2 to the 21, 2nd and 8.
One thing we'll see here too, Ken, is a running clock. So after the stop was made on the kick return. The play clock kept running. So up 35-0. Past the halfway point of the third quarter, you'll see a lot of running clock situations in high school football.
Under 4 minutes to play in the third, 2nd and 8. The 21. Auger on the keeper. Looks for the pitch, and this time it's on the ground again. They just haven't been able to run that play well at all. And that time it looked like they might have had some space, but unfortunately the deep back, who was yet worthy, could not hold on. Had to get on the ball, and that prevented any gain from occurring. Got a yard, which could have been something bigger than that.
They tried it in the first quarter, same result. They were able to fall on in the first quarter, same thing now. And they had something in the works. The pitch relationship distance between the quarterback and the tailback, very tight, and that was a reason for mishandling the pitch both times.
Basil 34, Elton 8, third quarter score. Here's 3rd down and 7. Blue gets the call. Blue was hit and stopped. Blue gets about a yard, but nothing doing, and it will be another punting situation, as OCS has just dominated this football game.
OCS very impressive on the defensive side. The football head coach Stephen Fitzhugh is the defensive coordinator, longtime offensive coordinator. Had the previous defensive coordinator leave about a year ago, right before the season. He took the defense over and turned the offense over to former quarterback Drew Vadrine.
Punt is away. This is Fitzhugh's got a chance back at his 40. Fitzhugh cuts back, 45-50, and tackled there. But again, they'll get the ball on the plus side of the field, which has been a familiar theme for the Eagles tonight.
One of the stories of the game, you saw a fake reverse there. Fitzhugh kept it, tried to get into the wall. That lead man on the wall needs to bring that wall to the football. He was a little bit too high in bringing the wall to the ball, and Fitzhugh cut up underneath it. Makes that one man miss. May have something closer to the goal line.
Start from the 49 of Cedar Creek. Herring, he and Fitzhugh have been the men offensively for the Eagles this evening. Fitzhugh in the backfield with him, along with Van Daven Mathern. Fitzhugh gets the call, trying to go left. That's not Fitzhugh, actually, that's Dugan, and Dugan gets it down, stays in bounds, broke tackles, and gets all the way down inside the 40 to about the 39. What a run by Dugan. Got himself 10 yards and got himself what looks like to be a first down. He made a really good run.
Another threat for the skilled players for Ouachita Christian. Again, 9.7 yards per carry coming in, and he's in double digits per carry tonight.
3 carries, 44 yards. First down and 10 at the 39-yard line of Cedar Creek. With a receiver to either side. Twins to the right, one to the left. But they're simply going to run it here behind the offensive front on the left side and get down to about the 35-yard line. As this was Fitzhugh, who is over 100 yards, gets 4. He's at 107 yards rushing. 12 carries, 2 touchdowns. Just a day at the office for Fitzhugh to go along with his touchdown reception of 35 yards and returning kicks.
Sure, rolling it up there in the Eagle record book as well.
Surely is, as we mentioned earlier. Top 10 in all kinds of categories, second all-time in points, and he's added to that tonight. Third all-time in all-purpose yards, and he's added to that tonight. And he'll add some more. Nice cut. Jumps over a tackler. Look at Fitzhugh. To the outside. Great run. Will Fitzhugh. He will score. Touchdown, Fitzhugh. 34 yards as he piles on more. And his 4th touchdown of the game gives OCS a 41-0 lead.
Power there. Tailback away from the fullback. Signature play for Ouachita Christian. Previous play. Counter tray with both backs on the same side. So you know what's coming, and it's great when you're an offensive coordinator and the defense knows what's coming and you're just able to execute it.
Harrell's been perfect tonight. We'll try another extra point. And he's got another with 38 seconds to play in the third. 42-0. OCS on top. Look, I thought they were the better team coming in, but I didn't think it would be like this.
Me neither. I really thought, looking at film, that Cedar Creek could move the football, hold on to the football, limit the number of possessions that Ouachita Christian would have. And when you turn the ball over twice in the first half and you're behind the chains a lot of times on third down, and you give the Eagles, one of the top 1A programs in the state, favorable field position a number of times, usually doesn't lead to good things.
Not at all.
This is a really impressive Ouachita Christian team. Definitely a force to be reckoned with in Division IV. Don't look at the scoreboard and judge Cedar Creek off of this. Definitely a team that will finish strong in their final 4 weeks of the season and have a say in the playoffs. A team that could push into the quarterfinals in Division IV.
Highland Baptist 34, Covenant Christian 14. They go to the final quarter in that game. This one's fielded cleanly, one of the first ones it has been in the game, but not much of a return. Still decent field position across the 30 to the 34-yard line. On the return was Logan Johnson. Cedar Creek will get the ball back with 34 seconds to play in the third quarter.
Clock stopped this time. Last time the clock kept rolling. Thought we had a running clock. Maybe we don't just yet. It was something that was discussed in the summer meeting at the National Federation of High Schools in Indianapolis, something that we talked about as a group of states in the football meeting. If there was a mercy rule and when there was a running clock, a lot of states have that throughout the United States during a certain time in the second half, with the margin getting a little bit out of hand.
And Herring smashed for a loss. Tried to fake it to Blue, didn't fool anybody as the penetration was extreme from Grant Mayshaw, who made the tackle. No chance for Herring as he got splattered about 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I said Herring Auger, I should say. So Auger gets hit for the loss, -3. And the third quarter is going to come to a close here. So we have played 3 quarters from Ruston, and it's all Ouachita Christian on top of Cedar Creek, 42-0. Back with our fourth quarter in just a moment. This is the Allstate Sugar Bowl LHSAA Thursday Night Football Game of the Week, a presentation of Crescent City Sports. Fourth quarter set to begin, 42-0. Ouachita Christian on top. Kate Adams on the sideline. Let's get the latest from Kate. Kate, go right ahead. Okay, Kate's not. We'll get back in with her in a minute. See when she's ready. 2nd and 12.
Hey, Ken, to actually just talk to one of the players.
Yeah.
The Cougars were all huddled up a second ago. Basically, Coach asked him, is it time to start running the clock? And all the players said no, they don't want to do that at this time. Back to you guys.
Well, there's why, because Brooks Auger just broke a long touchdown run. Auger finds room around the right side, and he races for a touchdown, 68 yards. That would tell you why. No quit here. 68-yard touchdown run. What a run. What a finish by Auger with that run. Boy, that's a beautiful thing to see. And he showed great speed on the perimeter.
He did. Definitely 2 nice-sized quarterbacks, physical quarterbacks on both sides, possessing a ton of athletic ability. Both of them can run. Looks like Cedar Creek is missing a player on their PAT team here. But as a coach, you're down 6 touchdowns. You don't like to be in that situation. But you tell your team, hey, it's 0-0 here. Let's see your effort. Let's see what kind of heart you have down 6 touchdowns.
Kick is off to the right and no good under pressure. So the failed extra point leaves us at 42-6 with 11:36 to play in the ball game. So Auger, 68-yard run. That was pretty impressive.
Impressive play there. Impressive to see the speed by Auger. Most impressive thing is you see the fight still being down 42-0. That's the most impressive thing there coming from Cedar Creek. You want to see great effort continue here in the game, continue to see your team play hard.
Well, they've tried to get to the perimeter with that triple option the entire game. The pitch has not worked because they left it on the ground. He kept it that time, and they had the edge blocked.
They did. Ken definitely had the edge blocked there, freeing up Auger. Something you want to see and something you want to have on film for your future opponents. Oak Grove lays in wait some point down their schedule, and that's something you want to put on your film so that you have the Tigers have something to prepare for. Put a little fear into the hearts of Oak Grove.
Kick it deep. Fitzhugh from the 10. Make it the 11. Fitzhugh breaks loose. Tripped up as he crosses the 40.
Great kick there, pinning Fitzhugh inside his numbers, and then great job by Ouachita Christian with their block scheme on kickoff return, and then it's an inside zone player as a returner, and Fitzhugh's real good at being patient, putting his foot in the ground, and getting downhill.
41-yard line, OCS with great field position yet again. With 11:15 to play in the game. Dugan hit at the line of scrimmage and driven back. So Dugan get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
His least successful offensive play of the night. Seen a lot of double-digit gains from Dugan for sure, and Graves is in the ball game at quarterback.
He is indeed. Good to see Graves getting the opportunity, as we spoke that he might have. Brody Johnson made a stop on that one. It's 2nd down and 10. Dugan gets the carry, running left. Dugan again wrapped up for a short gain. Got one that time, as the defense was sturdy once again. This time it was Brady Raspberry on the tackle.
Dugan needs to be a little bit more patient, as Fitzhugh would be patient there. Allow your puller to pull around, backside puller, backside guard pull, and read your puller. Wanted to really bounce it outside instead of being patient and wanting to see it, have great vision, put your left foot in the ground and get downhill.
It's 3rd down and 9. Counter play, Dugan. Short side, short gain. Got 1 more yard and goes down there as the tackle made by Logan Johnson. So Dugan stopped, and so is OCS, and a punt is coming. So a stop made by Cedar Creek here, and they will drop Stevens into the deep position.
Good to see Cedar Creek still playing hard on defense and come up with a stop and only allow 2 yards. Graves is the punter as well for Ouachita Christian. Even though you get stopped on offense, you get a shot to work on your punt protection if you're the Eagles.
Graves got it away. Nice punt. Kicked it away from the receiver, and it's going to be downed right around the 20-yard line or so. Good punt with 8:55 to play and counting. Stop it at 8:54, and Cedar Creek will get it back once more.
Graves pinned the Cougars inside their 20 at about the 18-yard line in his previous punt, and this one about the same location. Really good at knocking it down when he's punting it and trying to pin and pooch it down to his left. And as a former punter, if you're going to pooch and try and angle it, you want to go to your left if you're a right-footed punter, because if you happen to shank it, at least it ends up in the middle of the field. If you go right and you shank it, it ends up going out of bounds, and you lose incredible distance.
Kenner Discovery leads Ben Franklin 21-13 with 10:55 to play in the game. 1st and 10 of the 20-yard line. Option left. Fights through a tackle, falls forward for a couple. Does Herring. So Herring approaching 100 yards rushing, gets 2. It's going to be 2nd down and 8. And Highland Baptist 40, Covenant Christian 14. They're playing running clock now in the 4th quarter of that game.
Brooks Auger doing a great job for the Cougars, gaining 4 yards there, putting some things on film. I really like that there's no quit in the Cougars on either side of the football.
Gave him 3, 2nd and 7. At 23. Straight run, inside left. Flag comes down. That'll stop the clock. The flag came flying in there, as the carry was Logan Johnson getting his first carry of the game. But the flag down likely will negate the run, which didn't gain anything. Might have lost a yard. Personal foul. Chop block against Cedar Creek. They go to the 4th quarter. St. Charles Catholic has extended its lead to 28-0 over Port Gibson, Mississippi. Ascension Catholic extends its lead to 42-6 over White Castle. 2:01 to play in the 3rd quarter. And Basile leads Elton 34-8. They go to the 4th quarter of that game.
We had an ISO play on the previous play. Good to get Johnson in for a carry, get a younger guy in for a carry, build some depth that way as well.
2nd down and about 19 yards to go after the penalty. Straight toss. And up to about the 15-yard line. A short gain of about 2 yards for Logan Johnson. Does get the official carry here.
The old power toss play there. Kind of familiar with the team in green, huh, Ken?
You got that right. The team in green, that's pretty good. One of the better running teams in the country. Down in New Orleans. Playing at Yeoman Stadium, the Tulane Green Wave.
No question, and then you can go back a few decades where the Green Bay Packers made that power toss sweep famous as well. Willie Fritz doing a great job at Tulane.
It's 3rd down and 14. Faking, Herring, looking, throwing, nobody there. Coverage was blanket coverage anyway, as the pass was intended for Jackson Cuthbert, but good coverage on the play. Applied by Walker Morris and Will Fitzhugh. And Auger unable to connect. Will force a punt with 6:34 and counting.
Boot play by Auger. Can't find his receiver.
Now,
great coverage.
Now the clock is running after an incomplete pass.
Very impressed with the Eagle defense tonight.
Auger standing at around his 2-yard line. Twin receivers deep. Hammers this one. Fitzhugh fields it on the run and now pitches it to Eckstein. Eckstein, and they throw a flag, and I'm not sure why. That was not a block in the back. He did everything he could to avoid it. And an official standing way over here on this side threw it. Well, I don't agree with that one. The official on the spot was right there, and he saw that the blocker intentionally tried to avoid a block in the back. But the official on the far side decided he thought he saw it.
I think 42-6 had a little something to do with that too. But
yeah,
this
but you let that.
official,
there's no penalty there.
No, this official was cemented in. It looked like on the sideline over here, 30 yards away from the play. Should be moving a little bit into the play with the ball going the opposite way on the reverse pitch. They had a wall set up on the reverse. Put that on film. Make your punt coverage team down the road from your opponent. Respect that. Slow down your coverage.
OCS after the penalty will start at its 34-yard line with 5:51 and counting. Highland Baptist beat Covenant Christian. 41-14 was the final. Straight run here for Graves, and not much there. Graves tackled. Right away, no gain. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. Clock will continue to run. Outcome not in doubt. Final score is right now 42-6. Ouachita Christian with 5:20 left to play. We got some good stuff coming up for you that we want to tell you about too. And we'll do that after the next play. 2nd and 10 from the 34-yard line. Graves wants to throw it in the flat, almost intercepted. Wow. As the defender was absolutely sitting on that, and that was Walker Morris, who could have easily picked that off, but did not. So Graves, ill-advised throw there, and it's going to be 3rd down and 10 yards to go.
Nice man coverage by the Cougars there, playing 4 across against the 2x2 doubles formation for OCS.
3rd and 10 from the 34. And the straight run by Graves. Trying to bounce it outside. He's got speed. He's at the 40. Has a first down, 45, and steps out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. Good run by Graves as he picks up 14 yards and moves the chains and keeps the football for OCS.
Coach Fitzhugh earlier this week, talking to him on the phone leading up to the game, raved about the athletic ability of Graves. He's the quarterback of the future. Great opportunity for him to get some snaps, and it was really important for him to get some snaps earlier. When starter Hunter Herring went down, he ran the football twice in a row, and really good for offensive coordinator Drew Vadrine to let Graves run the football.
From the 48, give to Dugan inside, crosses midfield, and got 3 before he was driven back on the play. So Dugan adds to his total to make it 2nd and 7. Crescent City Sports has even more high school football for you this weekend. Tomorrow night at 7 p.m. in Covington, Pearl River and Corey Warren will face North Lake Christian in a non-district matchup. Then on Saturday at 2 p.m., join us for what may be the biggest game of the weekend, is Unbeaten's Brother Martin and Archbishop Rummel face off at 2 p.m. from Joe Yenny Stadium. It's all this weekend live at CrescentCitySports.com.
Looking forward to that game Saturday afternoon coming from Yenny.
A couple of schools you're pretty familiar with. 2nd and 7 at the 49. It's the Eric Held Bowl, if you will. Snap it. Inside run Graves. Gets 3 to the 46 before he's driven back, but keeps the clock running under 3 minutes to play. The Eric Held Bowl, the Chad LaRose Bowl. You guys both played at Brother Martin and coached at Rummel.
We did. Chad, great teammate, great athlete, quarterback in the Bobby Conlon, Al Pontiff triple option offense. Of course, Chad went on to play for UCLA. Had a great career there. One that was shortened by injury, unfortunately.
And you guys both coached for Jay Roth, who was awfully good.
A legend, 24 years at Rummel, 200-win member club, future Hall of Famer as well.
Low-key did it the right way. 3rd down, 3 yards. Graves bouncing it outside left. Graves has another first down, cuts it outside further and slides down. Smart move to stay in bounds by Graves, and he has another first down. Boy, he's got good speed, as you mentioned, and Graves does the job, but they're going to call holding, so it's coming back. So holding will be the call against OCS. But this one's coming back. Amazing that they'll throw the flags now with under 2 minutes left in the game. I guess if it's obvious, you got to call it.
Sure, if you see it, call it, no matter the point in the game, the score. But if it's borderline, they may throw it just to keep the score 42-6, believe it or not.
Of course, mentioned Bob Conlon. Mark Boney's doing a terrific job. 10 years now at Brother Martin for Mark. In his 11th year, he's done a great job.
Tremendous. Good friend of mine. One of the hardest workers you'll find in high school football when it comes to preparation. No stone unturned, Mark Bonise, and it's great to see that his son, Mark,
Mighty Mark.
Mighty Mark is doing well and attended his first game a couple weeks
Sure
ago.
did. 3rd and 14, minute 40 and counting as this one winds down. And it is a straight run to the right by Graves. Looks for the cutback, and he dropped the football. I think OCS got it back. They did at the 43, so no gain on the play for Graves. He'll get a talking to about ball security there, right?
He will, and great job by the Cedar Creek defense coming in, securing the tackle, and then the next man coming in and trying to strip the football. Great job there by number 2, Brady Raspberry, the corner for Cedar Creek.
And Nick Monica doing a really good job at Rummel, who is an outstanding coach there, coaching defense for years, and natural progression. He's handling it extremely well.
No question, following in Dad's footsteps, growing up as a coach's son, learning things a lot of times that you can't learn from textbooks when you study in a profession, when you're in college in a certain major and you go to labs and you learn from books and lectures, and a lot of times you just learn from watching from your dad. Your dad been around the game for decades, and you grow up in a coach's household and you're on the sideline as a ball boy and you see so many different things, and a lot of it just comes through watching and being around your dad, being around players, and just the experience getting to work for Dad, learn from Dad, and then another great in Jay Roth. And Nick's done it the right way, one of the most respected defensive minds in the state, and a great game planner, a great in-game adjuster, and then now he's doing such a great job being the defensive coordinator, and then also learning how to handle game management as a head coach in his first year, and some of that has come from being a head baseball coach as well.
Agreed. And his dad has had a lot of those games watching his son's team play. Expect that'll be the case tomorrow, since St. Charles Catholic playing tonight and winning at Port Gibson, Mississippi. 40 seconds left as this one winds down toward an inevitable victory for OCS. Punt is away, very high toward the sideline. Will bounce backwards and go out of bounds near the 31 or 2 yard line with 29 seconds left. Last gasp coming here for Cedar Creek.
Mentioning Coach Frank Monica before and his son Nick, of course, earlier in the day, going back to May on a Saturday afternoon at McMurray Park in Sulphur, St. Charles Catholic playing for the Division II state championship in baseball. Coach Monica's the AD, asked him if he was more nervous watching his school play or his son's Rummel Raiders play for a state championship. Great to see him watch his school and then his son coach in a state championship game in the same day.
Very cool. Run straight ahead, and a few yards here for Worthy on what might be the final snap of the game, as Worthy picks up about 3, and that should do it, as the Ouachita Christian Eagles are going to emerge victorious here tonight. Or did they call timeout? I don't think they called timeout, did they? No,
they did not.
And why they stopped the clock, I have no idea, but clock's going to run out. This game's over with. So, Ouachita Christian has won the game by the score of 42-6 over Cedar Creek here this evening, in a sterling performance by the Eagles. They were just the better team, and they played very well tonight.
Sure, they came in, you watching them on film, you kind of had a hint that they were the better team, but I didn't expect it to be this big of a margin at the end of the game. I thought Cedar Creek made some errors earlier that kind of took them out of the game, and when the score got to where it became, when it went from 14 to 21 to nothing, kind of got away from them. They had to play catch up, and as a run-heavy, dominant offense, you really put yourself behind the 8 ball. But give credit to Ouachita Christian, playing flawless football, really showing why they're a Division IV power in the state of Louisiana.
Kate Adams getting Coach Stephen Fitzhugh lined up here.
All right, guys, got Coach Fitzhugh. Coach, one of the things you wanted to do was win the turnover battle. Pretty sure your team did that tonight. Just talk about y'all's performance.
Well, I was real pleased with that. I think we won the turnover battle. We got some good field position, and we're proud of the way we finished strong.
Well, you got the district win tonight. Just talk about what you need to do moving forward in the season.
Just keep getting better each and every week.
All right.
Thank you.
I know you're trying to go talk to your team. Thank you, Coach. Guys.
Man, a few words. Nice man, but he just wanted to get to his team and the two teams gathering at midfield, which is a nice thing that they do. And, of course, talk about everything and address each other. Sportsmanship the way it should be. You love seeing this.
No question. And Coach Fitzhugh had an opportunity to coach with him in 2013 in the last LHSAA All-Star game in December of 2013 at Independence Stadium. Get a chance to hang out with him and talk with him. And a faith-filled man. What you see is what you get. Tremendous character. Had an opportunity to meet his sons years ago at a clinic when he brought them up to LSU to see the different speakers at the LSU Coaches Clinic, and it's been fun to see his younger sons grow up to where the older one was 12 and now he's in college, and then Will, of course, when he was about 10 and now he's a senior in high school. So it's been fun to see those guys grow up as young coaches' sons, and now they've been on the field. One's had an opportunity to play in the Superdome and then win a state championship in 2014 or 15, and then now you see Will, and he's one of the most heralded players in Ouachita Christian history.
Well, a great job here by Ouachita Christian tonight. They win it 42-6, and also a great job by Sadie Rylander, the Director of Video Operations at Louisiana Tech. Great to have Sadie with us again tonight. Also, Delaney Balmas doing a great job along with Thomas Monica here tonight, and we appreciate their efforts as well. Some final numbers before we let you get away here tonight. Cedar Creek, well, they just struggled offensively throughout. They did have the one big play, the Brooks Auger touchdown run of 68 yards, and that accounted for most of their offense in this game. 139 yards total, all rushing in the game for Cedar Creek, and they did not complete a pass. Meanwhile, on the other side of the coin, it was choose your poison because there were several players that contributed in very fine fashion. 13 carries, 141 yards, 3 touchdowns for Will Fitzhugh. He also caught a pass for 35 yards and a touchdown, so he accounted for 4 scores. Hunter Herring neared 100 yards but came out before he could get there. He finished with 10 carries for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns in the game, and of course he also threw the touchdown pass to Fitzhugh and was outstanding in the process here tonight. Dylan Dugan finished with 7 carries for 49 yards. Balanced effort as Ouachita Christian wins it rather easily, 42-6 over Cedar Creek Cougars. So some final thoughts here, Eric?
Sure, Ken. Auger had that 68-yard run, but outside of that, Ouachita Christian 3-man front defense really did a great job of limiting what Cedar Creek could do, holding them to 71 yards. Outside of that long run that Auger made when the game was well in hand, really like what I saw from Ouachita Christian moving forward as a power in Division IV. Really like what I saw in Cedar Creek as far as their effort and heart that they exhibited for 48 minutes. You don't look at the scoreboard here and say, hey, they're 5 touchdowns worse, I guess you could say, than Ouachita Christian, but moving forward, build off of it, and make a run here throughout the rest of the regular season. Stay healthy, continue to do what you do. Don't let this outcome alter anything that you do, and I think with the veteran coaching staff they have here, they're going to continue to do that. But I really like Ouachita Christian as far as their hopes of making a run at the Dome if they can stay healthy and avoid some key injuries down the road. Really good offensive skill players, and I think defenses moving forward really have to work on stopping power and counter, not only from Fitzhugh, the running back, but the quarterback, Herring, as well.
Well, we want to thank Andrew Yepson, the principal here at Cedar Creek, for accommodating us here this evening as well. We appreciate them and appreciate both coaches for helping make our jobs easier. Shannon Brown and, of course, Coach Fitzhugh, whom you just heard a few minutes ago, Stephen Fitzhugh. And of course, we thank all of our sponsors for helping make this possible, and thank the LHSAA for continuing to support high school athletics in Louisiana. Of course, you can watch the replay at CrescentCitySports.com as many times as you like to, and we want to remind you that you can join us next week as the Allstate Sugar Bowl LHSAA Thursday night game of the week is in Washington Parish for an intriguing non-district matchup between St. Charles Catholic and Franklinton. You can join Eric, Kate, and me for the call of the game as it should be a good one at 7 p.m. on the LHSAA live app or at CrescentCitySports.com. Don't forget the original tomorrow night. Stations all over Louisiana, including on 106.1 FM in New Orleans and at Nash FM 106.1.com as well. 5 hours of prep coverage from all over the state and many affiliates in the state as well. And we look forward to that tomorrow night on radio. And then, as mentioned, 2 more games on CrescentCitySports.com this weekend. Tomorrow night, Pearl River and North Lake Christian over in Covington at 7. Lenny Van Gilder will be on the call. And then Saturday, we'll have Archbishop Rummel hosting Brother Martin at 2 p.m. at Joe Yenny. That's live at CrescentCitySports.com and also live on 106.1 FM. Eric, it's been a pleasure, my friend. Thanks again.
Thanks again, Ken. Always a pleasure working with you, and be careful on your drive back to the New Orleans area.
Will do. Once again, our final score here tonight in Ruston was Ouachita Christian 42 and Cedar Creek 6. Now, this is Ken Trahan saying thank you for joining us and be a good sport. God bless you one and all. We are rounding third and heading home. So long.